Imagine for a moment a single solar project so powerful, so ambitious, that it could illuminate every home in a thriving American city the size of Santa Fe. Not just for a fleeting summer, but every day, year after year. Now, take that vision one step further. What if this project did not just generate clean energy, but also stored enough of it to keep the lights on long after sunset, through storms, heat waves, and the unexpected? Could this be the energy revolution the United States has been waiting for? Or is it simply another overhyped promise, destined to fade into the background noise of energy headlines? Welcome to Doña Ana County in southern New Mexico, where the Santa Teresa Solar and Storage Project is rewriting the script on what renewable energy can accomplish. Tucked near the bustling Santa Teresa port of entry, a vital gateway for trade and commerce in the Paso del Norte region, this colossal initiative is the result of a partnership between D.E. Shaw Renewable Investments and El Paso Electric. At its core is a sprawling solar facility rated at 150 megawatts, paired with a state-of-the-art battery storage system capable of holding an astonishing 600 megawatt-hours of electricity. To put that in perspective, this system is designed to provide enough clean power to meet the annual needs of approximately 60,000 homes. That is nearly the entire population of a city like Roswell, New Mexico, or the combined households of several small towns across the American Southwest. But Santa Teresa is more than just an engineering marvel. It is a linchpin in New Mexico's aggressive drive toward a carbon-free future. The state has set its sights high. 50% of all electricity must come from renewable sources by the year 2030, with a bold target of 100% carbon-free electricity by the year 2045. These are not just abstract numbers or distant goals. They are legally mandated milestones, and the pressure is on for utilities, developers, and policymakers to deliver real, measurable progress. The Santa Teresa project is not flying solo. Behind the scenes, a consortium of financial powerhouses, including DNB Bank ASA's New York branch, the National Bank of Canada, Sumitomo Mitsui Trust Bank Limited, and Korea Development Bank, have collectively committed hundreds of millions of dollars to bring this vision to life. Their involvement is a sign of the growing investor confidence in renewable infrastructure, as well as the rising importance of international partnerships in financing America's energy transition. Deutsche Bank Trust Company Americas, another global heavyweight, is overseeing the administrative aspects of financing, ensuring that the project remains on stable financial footing for decades to come. On the technical front, the project draws on some of the most advanced battery technology and grid management tools available today. LG Energy Solution Vertec, a global leader in battery innovation, is providing U.S.-manufactured battery energy storage units. These are not your average lithium-ion batteries. They are equipped with the Aeros software suite, a cutting-edge grid management platform capable of optimizing how energy is stored, dispatched, and balanced across the region. This digital backbone is essential for managing the unpredictable nature of solar generation and for providing what experts call ancillary services, the behind-the-scenes balancing acts that keep the grid stable, even when clouds roll in or demand suddenly surges. The operation and maintenance of the Santa Teresa facility will be handled by SOLV Energy, a company with a deep track record in constructing and running utility-scale renewable projects across North America. This ensures that the solar farm and its battery systems will not only be built to the highest standards, but will also remain efficient and resilient over their planned lifespan. The entire project is anchored by a 20-year power purchase agreement with El Paso Electric, guaranteeing a stable revenue stream and long-term commitment to the communities served. According to Hy Martin, Chief Development Officer at D.E. Shaw Renewable Investments, the Santa Teresa project is a cornerstone of our partnership with El Paso Electric and a prominent example of how cost-effective solar and storage assets can power New Mexico's future. This sentiment is echoed by Dave Hawkins, El Paso Electric's Vice President of System Planning and Operations Support, who emphasizes that this project is about more than adding solar power. It's about delivering lasting value to the communities and businesses we serve. By providing clean energy and added capacity to the entire region, we're strengthening reliability, supporting sustainability, and investing in future economic development growth. But let's not ignore the challenges. The Santa Teresa project is entering a landscape where old energy habits are deeply rooted. For over a century, America's electrical grid has depended on fossil fuels, coal, oil, and natural gas. Shifting that immense legacy to renewables is like trying to change the direction of a supertanker. Grid reliability remains a central concern. As climate change fuels more frequent and severe weather events, heat waves, droughts, and wildfires, the demands on our electrical systems are intensifying. In California, for example, rolling blackouts during heat waves have exposed the vulnerabilities of grids not equipped for extreme conditions, or the variability of renewable energy. Battery storage is often hailed as the missing piece of the renewable puzzle. Hybrid solar plus storage systems can store excess energy generated during the day and release it at night or during peak demand. This not only smooths out the natural fluctuations of solar power, but also provides crucial backup when traditional power plants falter or transmission lines are disrupted. The National Renewable Energy Laboratory, a leading authority on clean energy, notes that hybrid solar plus storage systems enhance grid resilience and can provide critical backup services. The Solar Energy Industries Association, the main trade group for America's solar sector, has declared that energy storage is now essential for mainstreaming renewables into the national grid. Yet the road ahead is littered with obstacles. The Santa Teresa project has benefited from generous incentives, like the federal investment tax credit, which can reduce upfront costs by as much as 30%. But these credits are subject to the political winds in Washington, D.C. If Congress decides to trim support or let key incentives expire, the financial foundation of projects like Santa Teresa could quickly erode. Analysts from Wood Mackenzie, a respected energy research firm, warn that, while solar plus storage is rapidly catching up to traditional power sources in terms of price, the sector remains young and vulnerable to shocks, be they technological, financial, or regulatory. Global supply chains are another wild card. The COVID-19 pandemic, international trade disputes, and shifting geopolitics have all disrupted the flow of critical components, solar panels, inverters, battery cells, that are essential for building and maintaining large-scale renewable projects. Rising interest rates, another byproduct of global uncertainty, can quickly inflate the cost of financing, making it harder for projects to pencil out. In recent years, delays and cost overruns have plagued several high-profile renewable projects across North America and Europe, serving as cautionary tales for developers and investors alike. Despite these risks, the opportunities are immense. If Santa Teresa succeeds, it will not just deliver cleaner air and lower carbon emissions for southern New Mexico. It could become a blueprint for regions across the United States and even overseas. By showing how large-scale solar and storage can work together, it may accelerate the retirement of aging coal and gas plants, reduce the frequency of blackouts, and insulate communities from volatile energy prices. The ripple effects could extend far beyond electricity. The construction and operation of the project are expected to create hundreds of direct and indirect jobs, boosting the local economy and attracting new investment to the region. Improved infrastructure around the Santa Teresa port of entry, a critical hub for cross-border trade, could further enhance the economic vitality of the entire Paso del Norte corridor. The scale of these changes can be difficult to grasp. Consider that New Mexico, once known almost exclusively for its oil and gas fields, is now emerging as a leader in renewable energy innovation. Projects like Santa Teresa are helping to diversify the state's economy, reduce its dependence on fossil fuel revenues, and position it at the forefront of America's clean energy transition. If successful, Santa Teresa could inspire a new generation of similar projects in places as diverse as Texas, Arizona, Nevada, and California, all states with abundant sunshine, growing populations, and urgent needs for grid modernization. Beyond economics and technology, the Santa Teresa project is also a story about partnerships and community engagement. The involvement of international banks from Canada, Norway, and Korea reflects the increasingly global nature of the clean energy movement. The collaboration between local utilities, state regulators, and private developers demonstrates how complex challenges can be tackled when diverse stakeholders work toward a common goal. Community buy-in has also been essential. Local governments and residents have provided crucial input on land use, environmental impacts, and workforce development, ensuring that the benefits of the project are widely shared. Looking to the future, the Santa Teresa project sits at a crossroads of promise and uncertainty. If all goes according to plan, within just a few years, 60,000 homes across southern New Mexico could be powered by the sun day and night, thanks to the colossal battery system that captures and stores surplus energy. This leap forward does not only mean cleaner air and progress toward the state's ambitious target of 100% carbon-free electricity by the year 2045, it also signals the emergence of a new era, one in which renewable energy is not just an aspiration, but a reliable backbone for the local economy and the regional grid. Yet, the path is rarely straightforward. Experts warn that future changes in federal and state policy, such as shifting incentives, new tariffs on imported solar panels, or changes to transmission regulations, could shake the delicate financial calculus that underpins this project. As Hy Martin from D.E. Shaw Renewable Investments highlighted, The investment tax credit was vital in getting Santa Teresa off the ground. If lawmakers decide to reduce support or fail to renew key incentives, Santa Teresa and similar ventures could face serious headwinds. Technological and market risks loom as well. The battery storage industry is advancing rapidly, with new chemistries and manufacturing techniques promising greater energy density and lower costs. However, supply chain bottlenecks or unexpected cost spikes, such as those seen during recent global crises, could delay the project or make it less competitive. Wood Mackenzie analysts point out that, while solar plus storage is closing the gap with traditional power sources, the sector's relative youth means surprises are always possible. And then there's the grid itself. Integrating so much new, intermittent power requires smarter management, robust cybersecurity measures, and significant investment in transmission lines and grid upgrades. Despite these hurdles, companies like LG Energy Solution Vertec and SOLV Energy are positioning Santa Teresa as a model for future hybrid projects. By coupling clean generation with reliable storage, the project stands to buffer the region against blackouts and severe price spikes, benefits that touch every business, school, and family on the grid. The long-term service arrangement with LG ensures that the battery systems and their AEROS software suite will be maintained at peak efficiency, minimizing downtime and maximizing grid stability. The AEROS platform, in particular, represents a quiet revolution. Its algorithms can predict demand patterns, optimize battery charging cycles, and even help prevent grid instability before it happens. For the people of Doña Ana County, the benefits are tangible. Not only does Santa Teresa promise cleaner air and a more stable energy supply, but it also brings well-paying jobs, new training opportunities, and a stronger local tax base. The economic impact will be felt in improved schools, roads, and public services. And as the project becomes fully operational, it is expected to attract further investment, perhaps in electric vehicle charging infrastructure, local manufacturing, or research and development in renewable technologies. What does all this mean for you, the viewer? First, Santa Teresa is compelling proof that the energy transition is not some distant possibility. It is unfolding right now, in real communities, with real consequences. Whether you live in a big city or a rural town, the lessons here matter. Policy decisions at the federal, state, and local level have direct impacts on what energy projects get built, how much they cost, and who benefits. Public support and informed advocacy can make the difference between progress and paralysis. If your city or state is considering clean energy investments, understanding the nuts and bolts of projects like Santa Teresa puts you ahead of the curve, whether as a voter, an investor, or simply as someone who cares about a sustainable future. This project also serves as a reminder that the clean energy revolution is about more than just technology. It is about forging new partnerships between utilities, private developers, local governments, and even international banks. The involvement of major financial institutions from Canada, Korea, Norway, and across the United States demonstrates just how global and interconnected the drive for renewables has become. These alliances bring not just capital, but also expertise, innovation, and accountability to the table. Will Santa Teresa deliver on its promise? All signs point to a cautious but optimistic yes. With its 20-year power purchase agreement in place, seasoned partners at the helm, and strong policy momentum, the project is far more likely to succeed than stumble. But, as with any bold leap forward, vigilance is key. Policymakers, business leaders, and citizens alike must stay alert to shifting winds, be they economic, technological, or political. The story of Santa Teresa is still being written, and its outcome will influence how quickly and how fairly America's energy revolution moves forward. And here's a secret that most headlines miss. Santa Teresa is not just a solar farm or a battery bank. It is a testing ground for the next generation of grid management software. Tools like LG's AEROS suite that could quietly transform how entire regions use, store, and balance electricity every day. If successful, this digital layer could ripple far beyond New Mexico, shaping the future of power for millions of people across the country and the world. Already, utilities from California to New York are watching closely, eager to learn from Santa Teresa's triumphs and its setbacks. Let's also consider the broader context. The United States, once a global laggard in renewable energy, is now in a race with China, the European Union, and other economic powerhouses to claim leadership in clean tech. Projects like Santa Teresa are essential for meeting the nation's climate goals under the Paris Agreement, reducing dependence on imported fossil fuels, and ensuring American competitiveness in a rapidly transforming global economy. The transition will not be easy, nor will it be cheap, but the cost of inaction is almost certainly higher. Climate-related disasters, air pollution, and energy insecurity already exact a heavy toll on communities from coast to coast. For those looking for practical takeaways, here are a few actionable insights. First, stay informed about energy policy debates in your area. Even small changes to local zoning laws, state incentives, or utility regulations can have outsized impacts on what kinds of projects get built and who benefits from them. Second, consider supporting community solar initiatives or battery pilot programs. These smaller-scale projects often serve as test beds for innovations that can later be scaled up to the size of Santa Teresa. Third, recognize the importance of workforce development. The clean energy transition will require tens of thousands of new electricians, engineers, project managers, and data analysts. Investing in education and training today will pay dividends for decades to come. Fourth, be mindful of the equity dimension. As new grids come online and old ones are retired, it is vital to ensure that all communities, urban and rural, rich and poor, have access to affordable, reliable, and clean energy. Policymakers and project developers must prioritize inclusion and transparency at every stage. And finally, do not underestimate the power of public engagement. The more people understand the benefits and challenges of projects like Santa Teresa, the more likely it is that these initiatives will succeed and inspire others. So what do you think? Can projects like Santa Teresa truly change the energy game for good? Or will old obstacles pull them back? Are you optimistic about the future of solar and storage? Or do you see more hurdles ahead? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. If you found this story eye-opening, do not forget to like this video and subscribe for more deep dives into the world of global economics and technology. Until next time.